Karen.
Oh God.
You know where this is going.
I can
I don't
definitely
even
see
need to
this.
finish, and you know where it's gonna go. She then tries to assault my brother, and he got 2 scratches and a bleeding leg.
Oh my
Dang,
God,
this
I'm trying to do that uppercut scratch.
Yeah, my son has more rights to the name to the baby since he is the real dad. I was furious, and my husband
Hey,
was
yo, hold on.
petrified. Yeah,
Hey, yo.
yeah.
Hold on. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Apartment 308 podcast. I'm your host, Brian, as always, and welcome back to the show called Let's Hangout, where
Brian, we're recording on Zoom, right? Like, we're recording right now?
Yes, we are. Yes, we are.
All right, I just want to make sure.
Yeah, and oh, Ryan, do you see what I see here? Do you see that?
Yes, I do.
We got some guests with their cameras on.
Hey, yo.
Yeah, you do.
We're here. We're ready.
You got 2 big, sexy boys just right here.
In your dorm, waiting for you to come out. Ready? Let's go. Pop.
Oh, well, since we got guests with their cameras on, Ryan, I think it's time to do our face reveal, don't you think?
I guess so.
All right, you go first, and then I'll reveal my face.
Oh.
Ta-da!
There's your boy Ryan, aka Mr. RPZ, and
So I
here's-
suppose
what's that?
now that once I get on Twitch, I have to use face cam now.
if you ever decide to go back, and
Well, that's if I have the technology to go back.
all right, here I come.
Hey-o.
It's a me.
What's good, baby?
It's a me, a BG. Now people know what I look like if I ever get canceled. No, I'm kidding. Anyways, yeah, let us introduce our guests here. Yeah, so who are you boys? Who are you?
We are OKOP. That's one easy way to do it.
Yeah, that's the easiest. John and Sam dynamic comedy duo.
That's right. We make a show called OKOP, which yours truly here, Brian, or BG, I guess, as he's known to you all, has been doing. God, you've done many posts. So he is the editing magic behind our wonderful content.
Oh yes,
I say you need a new editor.
What? Ryan, you and I are gonna talk after this meeting, all right? Yeah,
I'd like to see you try.
yeah, I was gonna say it's like, yeah. So I
Actually,
literally,
he's a wonderful editor.
thank you. Yeah, so I literally met John first because I'm still on the job hunt, and I looked him up, been working with him for a while. Honestly, this is the most fun job I've ever had, but now, I am super glad that you guys are here with us to, do a collaboration episode. It's like first ever collaboration I've ever done. Just
Sweet. Love it. Well, you've been doing some great work. So yeah, we were excited to hop on.
hell yeah, that's what we like to do. So, anyways, for people that don't know who OKOP is, what exactly do you guys do?
We tell the funniest stories on the internet. There's not a funny story that we haven't uncovered.
That's right.
And if we haven't uncovered it, it's just because we haven't uncovered it yet. We're like
That's right.
Indiana Jones.
Scouring
Hell yeah.
the internet
Yeah.
for all the hidden gems.
Yeah,
Dodging
what's the
spears
cup?
of poison.
Oh,
The chalice?
yeah, the Holy Grail.
Yeah, the Holy Grail.
of Reddit stories.
Melting Nazi faces.
That we do. We do that. That's our side gig. Side gig.
Your sidekick?
The full-time gig
Yeah.
is reading Reddit stories. Melting Nazis doesn't really.
It's like
pay the bills
part-time, like
anymore.
Uber, you know.
Yeah.
Like Uber.
Pick up a person, melt a Nazi face.
Yeah. That's what we do. That's what we do. Easy. Makes great soup.
It does.
The Seinfeld episode about that Nazi soup.
Okay, we're not gonna get into that, but that's a Reddit story waiting to happen. But anyways, guys, what we're gonna be doing here today, we're gonna be doing what pretty much these guys do. Each of us have found a Reddit story, and pretty much we're gonna read and react to them, and yeah, just know more about Reddit because I'm not a big Reddit degenerate as these three. I'm gonna be honest, I don't go on Reddit. As
How
often.
dare you call me a degenerate? How dare you?
What you mean?
Says the person who's on Instagram.
Shush. We. Yeah, but anyways, guys, if you want to hear more about the Reddit stories we're about to read, make sure you subscribe to Apartment 308, like today's video, comment, share it. And if you're over on Spotify and or Google Podcasts or any other podcast platform you listen to, give us a follow and like. We'd really appreciate it. All right, gentlemen, are you ready for this?
Oh, yeah. We got one locked and loaded for you.
Oh, so do you guys want to be the starting gun? You guys want to start off?
I want to kick it off. All right.
All right, then
let's ready.
Let's hear it.
Awesome.
What you got?
Karen complains because we skipped the line.
Come on, Karen.
Come on, Karen.
Why you always being a tattletale? Just let us skip the line.
It's always the Karens. It's always the Karens, man.
The Karens come out and they're just trying to police, but who polices the Karens?
That's the real question. is what we need.
That's us.
That's the platform where we are the
Karen judgment low key.
Honestly,
bro.
that could have been a great name.
Yeah,
to show it.
Like almost like judges.
Judges.
No one's ever thought of that.
No one's ever thought of that.
Yeah, that's
completely original.
Territory.
Yeah, that is IP that is completely ours.
That's right. All right, boys, let's dive in here.
Dive in.
So, OP starts. Okay.
OP.
This is not nice. This is not as bad as it sounds. My brother has autism, and for his birthday, we went to Toyota Park. Cool. Don't know what that is.
I love Toyota Park. It's with all the cars. We got Toyota Park. You got
not Toyota, not the car brand.
Toyota Park.
Toyota Park.
Yeah, I love
with the cars. Good MPG.
Yeah.
Very economic.
We got the Prius ride.
Yeah. Google saying Toyota Park. I'm just.
It's a Honda.
Hey, listen, I am a Honda boy forever. I love Honda.
Dude, Same. I'm about the honka Honda. I'm talking about
honka Hondas.
Hey, whoever has good gas mileage or a good electric range, then I'm for it. And doesn't crap out.
Home on the range, baby.
So Opie says we had a great time, but one ride called Flight School. We lined up and asked for special assistance because we had special assistance tickets. This is where the story starts. Karen, excuse me, you're skipping the line. Oh. Me, ma'am, my brother has autism and special assistance tickets.
He's got the tickets. He's got the receipts. Come on.
Man, come on.
Come on, man. Karen, no, you're not. I'm going to get you banned. Entitled kid, Mommy, I want to go now. Karen,
oh God.
You know where this is going.
I can definitely see this.
Finish and you know where it's gonna go. Karen, I'll get your ticket, sweetie. Now my brother is flipping tall, 6 foot, as he stands up and says, "Ma'am, please just shut up."
Oh, straight to the point on that
Dude,
one.
just not beat around the bush.
Honestly.
No bush here.
Ma'am, shut up. Just like,
Yes.
I just let me have this.
Just let me have this.
Yeah. A response equally is great. Karen, no. She manages to grab the tickets from my hands. Luckily, they had our names on them, so she couldn't put her child in the ride. She then tries to assault my brother, and he got 2 scratches and a bleeding leg.
Oh my God,
jeez.
Trying to do that uppercut scratch move,
Good God, AAB left, right.
Yeah,
that is literally a crime happening right there. Like, what the hell?
Literally assault.
I think that's I think it might be hate crime if I'm correct. I'm not sure.
Honestly, yes. Honestly, yeah, absolutely. At this point, nice employee comes in. Nice employee. Ma'am, this boy has autism. He is allowed to skip the line. Karen, no, he's not. Nice employee. Yes, he is. The manager of the ride comes in at this point. Nice manager. Ma'am, please let these people get on their ride. You are making a scene. Please escort yourself off of this here ride. Karen left the ride, and we did the ride without losing any time. Woo! Smiley face. Before we left, the manager told us that the Karen was banned and thanked us for our patience. And we also got a coupon for Tato Park, and we'll definitely be going again.
Dang, management coming in for the win.
Dude.
Yeah.
Honestly. But man, seriously? Oh, sorry, Ryan, you go first.
Yeah, there's like nothing better. Like what I used to work at retail, and like whenever you like get a Karen and they're just like bitching up a storm and like being entitled and whatnot, when the manager has your back, God, it's a good feeling.
Yeah. Having that the reserves come back in and being like, all right, we got you.
Pulling the troops.
Pulling the troops.
Yeah. Well, plus I also like know people with like who have disabilities, but it's like but it's not like completely obvious. I'm not sure if there's like a proper terminology for that. I had a teacher. I had a deaf teacher. Like he was my sign language teacher back in community college, and he has access to like handicap spaces, like, and also like priority seating whenever it comes to planes or amusement park rides, as we set out here. And some people manage to bitch up the storm, but however it just like it doesn't faze them that much.
Right.
Yeah.
He just keeps
keeps trucking along, getting that free parking.
Yeah, baby.
Don't be that asshole that just parks in the handicap spot when you clearly don't have, moral the lesson of that story.
That is not the move whatsoever. But I heard you guys got a story for us.
Yeah, the landlord one, right?
Oh yeah, so I have one, and then also Ryan has one. I guess Ryan, you want me to go first?
It's up to you, man. Like,
I guess we can go with mine. But so before we get into my story, just to preface this story, I want to ask you guys is like, what's like the worst repair you've guys done to like your houses or your homes? Worst repair. Well, today, John was trying to get into. He came over to my house, and our parking is like the parking meter maid people they have like an eagle eye. If you are not in the right area for even a second, they will give you a ticket. John's gotten like what? How many tickets at this point?
Might be the fourth or fifth one.
Yeah, it's like 4 or 5 tickets, right?
John
jumped in for 30 minutes, and then we realized, oh, did you put the parking pass on there? And he's like, oh shit. And then he goes out. Not only 1 ticket, he got 2 tickets. And I'm like, all right, John, we need to resolve this. Yep. Right. So we have a dartboard in my house. And so what I do is I take one of the darts and throw it against the wall. So I'm like thinking like, oh, like it's gonna stick in the wall. I'm gonna be able to hang my parking permit things on it. Why? Did not work at all. I just put a bunch of holes in my wall. And so instead I put some tape on a shower ring curtain and then hung all of the parking passes there. And that is our system. So now John,
it actually works great.
Yeah,
I can see it immediately.
Easy.
Okay, well, I mean, hey, it's something. So
it's something. It works.
Okay, Ryan, what's like the worst or like repair you've ever done in your house or even back in our dorm?
In my house or back in the dorm? I don't know about like house because like I'm not that much into repairs, but I did do repairs on my car. Can I like say that?
I mean, sure. I guess.
Let me see here. The worst repair. Well, my car itself it's the worst repair. Like every time like I use it, like everything just breaks. Like just recently, another one of my window regulators broke.
Again. Another one.
And this is the one I replaced with a car part off eBay. Then last week it was another window regulator. The week before that it was the power steering system. And oh god, and another one, my car was just like having to check engine light, and then it was just like, nah, never mind. Just that in itself. Yeah, that in itself is just like one big repair project. But just to clarify, the car is like over 22 years old.
It's still trucking, but it's on.
It's trucking, but however, like I feel like it's getting near the end of its life, And I'm just like, please hold out until I get a job and I could pay for a better car, or at least a 3-wheel motorcycle, because that's legal in this, because I could drive that in this state.
He showed me a picture of what he wants to drive, and I'm like, do it. All right. As for me, not really much happened here on like where I currently live, but like, Ryan, remember back in the apartment we had I don't remember if this was you or Blake, but remember the fire alarm in our apartment kept beeping like every time? And we called the RA and they never responded. I can't remember if that was you or Blake.
I think that was Blake, but I did have like a similar situation when I was like in a different apartment on campus. The fire alarm kept on going off in my room, and I just tore it out of the wall.
Isn't that illegal?
Mode.
I tore it out of the wall. And I took out the battery, and I keep on forgetting to call maintenance, but eventually it got sorted.
Yeah, what was it? I think when Blake was our roommate, we had a problem where the alarm kept beeping. I think it's because of like a battery issue. So we tried calling the RA, but she would never respond to any of our calls or texts or emails. So we're just like, well, good thing all of us had class in the middle of the day, so we didn't have to deal with that constant beeping. But whenever any of us are back home, opens the door, beep. Whenever we get out of the bathroom, beep, the heck?
Yeah.
Should have gone with Energizer.
It's the worst.
Should have gone with Energizer.
But anyway,
going on and on.
All about all these repairs. What's going on?
So, all right, this Reddit story, I'm gonna call this one. The landlord refuses to help us fix our new apartment, and he mocks us by saying, "Call the city inspector." So we did. I mean, you're just asking for trouble for saying that. All right. So this happened in 2018, and I just moved to a new apartment. It was a 3-bedroom, first-floor apartment, and it had a finished basement. It had 2 bedrooms, a living room, and a kitchen on the first floor. It also had another bedroom with a bath included in the basement, as well as a bar and gaming area. It was also a very nice it was in a nice area of the city, and the apartment was owned by a corporation. Dude, are you serious? A freaking bar and game room in the basement? That's like the best place you can
I would kill to at least rent a place out like that.
Honestly. Hey, apartments.com, sponsor either of us.
There we go.
Honestly, we loved the apartment until it kept having recurring issues in the basement. The carpet was wet from time to time, and at first, the landlord would send a cleaner to come and handle it, but it keeps happening. I asked them to check it and fix the issue, but they didn't do it. I told him I'll call the city inspector to go check the building, and he just laughs at me saying, go ahead, call the city inspector. You won't. So of course I did. I mean, what else are you gonna do there?
Why wouldn't you?
I mean, first of all, and also the city inspector, if you get in trouble by him and you're a landlord, you're just royally fucked right there.
Yeah, you're wrecked.
Did he think that you were just going through the central bureaucracy in Futurama? Just like you're just like sitting in line for like a birth certificate.
Pretty much.
And you're like 87.
I mean, pretty much. But I don't know what else to expect. Anyways, so I called the city twice until I finally was connected to the right department, and they sent an inspector a week later. The inspector found so many building violations. They told me they contact the building owner and would come again. The next day, the owner called up and begged me to tell him what I know about the problem with the apartment. And I told him I sent complaints to him multiple times, so they should have checked their record about it. I'm like, how hard is it for people to look at your emails? Come on, guys.
Come on.
I got receipts. Check them.
I got receipts, and look, another stain on the floor. I wonder where that came from. I don't have a dog. Anyways, so the city inspector, the owner, and the property manager came in 2 weeks after that. The city inspector was whooping their asses. He laid it to them, and it was bad. They had to deal with structural and foundational issues and some safety issues too. There were 4 other tenants in that building. Oh, sorry. there were 4 tenants in the building, including us. So imagine it was a big colonial multifamily home divided into 4 apartments, which I have lived in before, and it was actually a pretty nice one.
Yeah.
Okay. They had to break the lease with all of us to fix the building. They couldn't fix it with us being there. And we have already contacted a lawyer and we told him 3 things. 1, we want the deposit back before moving out. 2, that they pay for all of our moving expenses. And 3, that they pay for our deposit at the next place. They could not kick us out. They could not rent the apartment after the inspections. And there were 4 of us, and we all could sue them for placing us in a dangerous building. In the end, they spent so much money to really relocate us and fix the apartment. So
saved all that money.
It's what you get, baby.
For ignoring your email.
Here's the thing. It kind of goes into like one of those situations where if you have something to hide, it's best not to make enemies, period.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Also, why don't you just send someone to fix it in the first place? Like, if it's a leaky pipe, it doesn't cost that much.
Yeah,
okay, I was just kind of playing devil's advocate right there. But still, but still, don't make enemies if you have shit to hide.
Exactly.
Yeah, agree.
Big facts. All right, we got another one for you guys.
Oh, okay.
Okie dokie.
Samuel, you want to take this one?
Sure. Today I effed up by not looking before sitting down.
Dun dun
Dun,
dun.
dun, dun. Yeah,
There's so many.
Yeah.
There are so many things out of context that can go horribly wrong with this story.
Must be a thumbtack.
I work from home, and this happened literally as I was sitting down to start my day. I play video games on the weekends sometimes. I don't clean up my entire mess of a room before work on Monday. So today, I rushed to do it before work starts. It is important to note that I have a bad habit of sitting on my legs, which I'm sure is a somewhat normal thing to do. What do you mean sitting on your legs?
Like this.
Crisscross applesauce? Oh, like that. Okay.
We can't see it on camera.
Now.
We can't see it on camera now. But
I'm sitting like with my ankle below my thigh.
All right. So I sit down in my chair on my right leg, like I have for many, many years. And I instantly feel this burning sensation in the middle of my calf, not the outside, directly in the middle. I jump up and think, what the fuck just bit me? I look down and my wife's cuticle cleaning tool is sticking out of my leg. When I was rushing to my desk, I must have knocked it into the chair, leaving the worst possible thumbtack in the chair scenario on myself. I pulled it out, flopped on the floor in pain for a second, and then went on to work 2 minutes late. Man got stabbed.
He's still committed.
Still working.
God
I
damn.
would take a day off if that ever happened to
For
me.
reference, the cuticle cleaner is solid metal at about 5 inches long, extremely pointy on one end, and a curved blade on the other. Thank God I do sit on my leg. I can only imagine what it could have been if I had sat somewhere else.
Yikes.
Ouch.
Ouchie wouchie.
A little kebab. Little testes.
Thigh collab.
Testy kebab, baby.
Can we get some F's in the comments, please? Because holy shit.
Yeah, no, not good. Not
I'm
good.
still processing. I'm still processing that whole thing.
Yeah.
Holy hell.
Yeah. It's disgusting.
Blech.
But I heard you guys have one more story for us.
All right,
Yes.
Mr. RPZ, it's on you. What you got?
All right. It might be like a slightly long one, but I'll try to keep it brief. So, am I the asshole for kicking my parents-in-law out after they suggested I have no right in naming my son since he wasn't biologically mine? This happened last night, to be honest. I felt a little bit bad on how I reacted, but let me know if you think my reaction was justified. My husband and I have been married for over 5 years. By the way, they're both dudes, so it's a gay marriage. We have a beautiful daughter who we adopted 2 years ago, and it means the world to us. We decided the past year to start a journey via surrogacy. Since I have a low sperm count, it was my husband's sperm and the egg donor, a friend of ours. Mm-hmm. Our surrogate is 7 months pregnant, and we threw a gender reveal party. Unfortunately, our surrogate couldn't be with us because she lives in Canada, but via Zoom. The party gathered close friends and immediate family. My in-laws were there. It turns out to be a boy, and my in-laws suggested that we pick names right there. I've already chosen one.
That day,
but
names
as
are important. Jeez.
Yeah.
Pick it right away.
Well, I kind of get like you think ahead for like picking your names, but you're just like, okay, we know now. Okay, let's discuss names.
So
like,
name it. Name. I want to hear you pick the name.
Like let's just like have the pyrotechnics go off already that burn like half of California, and then
Oh
then
no,
we'll
not
have
again.
it, okay.
No, we are not doing that again.
By the way, I don't think this guy had that kind of gender reveal party. Anyway, I've already chose one, but as I didn't want to destroy their happiness, I let them suggest names to see if they can come out with a name. I've already chosen, but then instead suggested names that I don't like. They only suggested the name our baby after their fathers. It was something like Peter Jeremiah. I have nothing against people named like that, but I don't really like for my child. I told them that
you have to name your baby after someone else's father.
The second, the third, I don't even know.
Yeah. Again, like it's like I think that decision should be up to the parents. Like, but the immediate parents, like not the grandparents.
Yeah.
I told them that we think about it, but they insisted on picking one. After insisting, I told them that I've already picked one. Then mother-in-law said, well, it doesn't matter. My son has the last say. I said, sorry. Then father-in-law replied, yeah, my son has more rights to the name to the baby since he is the real dad. I was furious, and my husband was petrified. Yeah,
Hold on.
Yeah. I think that's like a touchy subject for like.
Yeah,
like,
it's a joint decision. If you're having
especially like for the guy who has like a little sperm count.
That baby, that's a joint decision.
Yeah, it's a joint decision. Like I was furious. My husband was petrified, and so I didn't let them explain what they did. Grabbed their arms and kicked them out. My husband got back to reality and said they were my parents, and this wasn't the way. And as you can guess, I ruined the party. Everyone left after that. My husband apologized for what his parents did. Today morning, mother-in-law called my husband and stated that she was so disappointed about my behavior that I hurt her by what I did. Sister-in-law says I was far disrespectful and overreacted since I didn't give them the time to explain themselves. So am I the asshole for it? Did I overreact?
I think everyone's an asshole here.
Wow.
I think the parents are definitely asshole for saying that, but to like you have a right to make a scene, but you shouldn't. If like you're being the best version of yourself, you shouldn't make a scene. You know?
Yeah.
Like the proper thing was to do is like, oh no, I think you're wrong, and then just step away. From
Let
the
me explain.
conversation.
Let's step to the side, and I can explain why I don't agree with.
Yeah, but like to like ruin the party for that like is within your realm of what you could be expected to do, but it's not like the highest form of.
It also almost
exactly
sounds like grab their arm and like toss them
Yeah.
out. Get out of here, granddaddy.
Yeah.
Well,
Easy.
but like I said, like we all agree, like it's like it should be like up to like the immediate parents, like, and I think like it's kind of like a touchy subject. So I think like I could see why the guy like grabbed by their arms and like chucked them out. Yeah. Jesus. Like
I mean, I can understand like the fit of rage because like, yo, this is like your moment, your child. And I mean, yeah, sure. Like if your parents don't really agree with you, I mean, you have the right to say no.
An emotional
but they
response.
also said he wasn't
response.
the real dad.
Yeah. So
that cut. Yeah.
Yeah.
That wasn't it.
Yeah, but I guess
I think it's justified.
I feel like it's justified, but I feel like the situation could have been handled in a better way.
Yeah, I completely agree. It's justified, but it could have been handled better.
Yeah.
You're right. Like I agree with all of you.
Yeah, we're all in agreement.
Yeah.
Bam.
Yay!
That is
unanimous,
move, baby.
Order in the court. All right. So
Serve.
That's right.
All right, everybody. So you might have noticed that we kind of have a part 2 now. This is set in the future. I think like 1 week after we recorded the Reddit stories.
We are time travelers.
Yes.
Only up to a week though. So we have a 7-day limit.
Yeah. So as you guys noticed that Ryan and Sam aren't here, so right now today it's just me and John. Yeah, because our original recording was like 27 minutes, so I thought it's like let's try to extend this a little bit by interviewing you about what OKOP is.
Yes.
Yeah. Usually we save these one-on-one interviews for my show. It's been a while, but I already got that covered for the upcoming week. So, first of all, how are you doing? How are you doing today?
Doing good. It's been, every day in the life of a content creator is cool. Brian just posted a great post this morning that's like doing super well. So, it's interesting how your life can be dictated by views. You know what I mean?
Ooh, yeah, no, definitely. We are going to be talking about like a little bit of content creation later on.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like if you guys remember before or earlier in this episode, I am pretty much working for John and Sam for OKOP. I'm one of the editors here. There's another editor. We won't say his name for the sake of privacy, but he's also been doing very well. The team's been also doing very awesome. So yeah, I'm really glad to be part of this team.
We're very glad to have you. That's for sure.
Heck yeah. So, like I said, this pretty much episode 20 part B is just getting to know more about John, a little bit more about Sam, and what OKOP is. So first of all, tell us a little bit about yourself and Sam, and what is your background when it comes to video editing or content creation?
For sure. So, brief history on me. I moved to California when I was 17. Thought I was going to do like the whole Silicon Valley thing. So I did that for a few years. Dropped out of college and ended up working at various like startups and stuff.
Ooh.
And so yeah, it was cool. It was definitely like I learned a lot that I think I apply in my new career journey. And I quit my job in August of 2019. Luckily, I created a remote podcasting agency, which came in very handy when COVID literally shut everything down. So remote podcasting was highly in demand when COVID hit. So I was basically like a freelancer, just taking gigs and clients and stuff where I could. And then Sam and I, a brief history about Sam, who's my co-host. He went to UCLA, did not drop out, actually graduated. And he started this really cool show called Finding Founders. He's interviewed like all these crazy, he's gone to like weed farms and Humboldt and nudist colonies. And it's really.
Did you just say nudist colony?
Yeah, he reported in the nude.
Wow.
I don't think visual was a part of that. I think it was auditory only.
For good reason. For good
reasons, LARPing communities. He's kind of done it all. He kind of went from like founders of companies to founders of like movements and communities, which was really cool. So the mutual friend introduced the two of us. We talked during COVID a lot, and we ended up getting this offer to create a podcast on this big podcast network, which we were both like, really, I was especially surprised about. So it was cool. Like you're like, wow, people get, paid to just create content. It's wild. And it was a cool experience for sure. And we learned a lot, but they shut that down. Which actually, you say oof, but I'm actually in hindsight so glad they shut it down, because
really,
that's what spurred me and Sam. Were basically like, okay, we like working together. We're both like, I had been, solo since 2019 anyway. So like, why don't we keep this thing going? You know what I mean? Let's try to, there's clearly something here. Let's try and like do another project together. So we threw a bunch of ideas at the wall and kind of played around with a bunch of stuff. And then we came across this Reddit idea of just like reading Reddit stories. And we're like, well, if robots can do it, like these like robo reads, I mean, you know, something's gotta give. So
More
we
genuine human stuff.
yeah, just like a person, like a heartbeat, and then could we be entertaining heartbeats at that? You know what I mean?
Right.
So we literally like recorded the first episode, spent all weekend recording, editing, etc. And we launched it, and our first TikTok, it got like 40 views in the first like 24 hours. Like, okay, like, you know, like not zero. Let's not, you know,
it's something. It's something.
it's something, you know, it's no shame in the game, right? And then so we go to sleep, and then we wake up the next day. So the second day of our post being live, and by the end of that day, we had like 100,000 views on our very first post ever.
From 40 to 100K just like that?
Yes.
Wow.
It was crazy, dude. It was absolutely nuts.
And you guys originated from TikTok, not like any other platform at the time.
We did like, so basically we literally like the entire weekend we just like recorded, edited. So we did record for YouTube and podcast. But and I'm trying to remember the exact specifics, but basically I think we were like, we see the so we saw some people on YouTube, but then we started looking up the Reddit reading TikTok accounts, and then we were like, YouTube will take a while to break into. Podcasts will definitely take a long time to get into because podcasts are very hard to grow because there's like no algorithm. So we were like, let's make it a like TikTok first, a like TikTok native approach. I think that was the decision that we came up with, and we spent a pretty solid amount of time on those first TikToks just to make sure they were, at least some of them were pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that was basically how it started.
Oh wow. So basically you went from moving here to Cali, dropping out of college, and then you pretty much came your own independent, you know, like company at that point, or an independent employer.
Basically, yeah. Once I left Silicon Valley, I was basically working for myself.
Oh yeah. Yeah, no, it's definitely awesome because you know, like me and my few other friends who've been on like previous episodes, that yeah, because of COVID, like all of us are just like, man, like our future careers, our future ideas, like we can't really fulfill that because we're all stuck at home. So yeah, I mean, that's how I came up with my channel. You know, even though I have like only a few subs, not as big as you guys, but you know, it's something, and I still enjoy it to this day still.
And
Yeah.
that's honestly one of the most important things. I think when people think content, they're like, oh, I got to become like Mr. Beast or something, right?
Yeah,
like
exactly. Like
that's what people think, you know?
it's just I have to be the funny man 24/7. Like I have to be better than like all these YouTubers, content creators, social media people, but like, you know, like there has to be a key of like being genuine, you know?
100%. I think it's really whatever, like if there's a type of content that you like creating that maybe you can't make like a full like a ton of money and stuff from, but you like enjoy it, like keep doing it. Or creating stuff for somebody else, like there's so many avenues in content that there's no reason to do something you don't like or don't want to do.
Yeah, I've always lived in that philosophy where like I think I heard this from actually another like YouTube gamer where he said you know, why do you keep doing stuff that's not fun to you? If you're not enjoying it, then why do you keep doing it? Just keep doing the stuff you genuinely enjoy and you find fun.
Yeah, it's simple in theory, but hard in reality, but a good thing to like strive for. I think.
Yes, definitely hard in reality because there's this thing called money.
Correct. Exactly.
Which both you and I are very much struggling in.
Mm-hmm. We'll get there. We'll get there, baby.
One day.
Yes.
So I actually, for this next thing, I do want to ask you is like, where did the name OKOP come from? Like, as soon as I joined you guys for working, it was like, what does that mean? The name of this channel.
So, funny story about the name. So, we originally had, just brainstormed a list of like 50 names or something. And the original name was Internet Boys. And
Oh dear.
Sam's mom said we had a bunch of other ones. One because of subreddits. One of them was Sub Buds.
Oh my goodness.
Little innuendo there. So we decided on Internet Boys, and then Sam called his mom, and we felt at that point we had looked at so many names, we kind of felt proud of like, okay, like I think this could work. So Sam calls his mom, and she's like, that name is shit. Like, you need to go back to the drawing board.
Straight up,
Sam's
like,
mom,
actually.
yeah, so I love Sam's mom. She's literally so straight to the point. It is amazing. So we were like, well, shit, I guess we have to like rethink everything. So we went back to the drawing board, and we wanted it to be like winking, giving a nod to Reddit, but also not just like Reddit reading podcast.com. You know what I mean?
Right.
So we did OKOP because OP means original poster. So it's like, okay, original poster. So that's where I came from.
Oh, okay. So it literally means, okay, original poster.
Yes.
Okay, now I understand, because like I said, like, I'm not a Reddit guy. I don't go on Reddit as often. That's only you, Sam, and Ryan I know are like our resident like Reddit meme lords in our apartment. Yeah. Okay, so I guess that clears everything up. But what are some of your favorite stories that you found like throughout making this?
Man, so many stories. I mean, it's so funny because like Brian has already himself been through so many stories you probably can't even like remember half of them off the top of your head, right? We've recorded, Brian, 203 stories.
Oh my gosh,
something
you
like
guys.
that. So there's been a lot.
So you guys need to do a special somehow. 200 episodes, dang.
I know. Well, you know what's funny is we ended up there's another podcast, The Judges, who we recently recorded a collaboration with. Those should be coming out in the next few weeks. And on the call, I was like, what file is this? And Sam was like, oh, 200. And we're like, cool. And they were like, oh my gosh, congratulations on 200 episodes. And I was like, I was literally like, my brain was like, file number, like, where are we? But anyways, back to your question. Favorite stories? There was one that did like really not well. It was the story of this guy who was at work, and he, for God knows what reason, decided to take an edible. Specifically an edible that he had never tried before. And so he takes it, and then literally he starts like having like sweats, and like his heart is beating out of his chest. And then he like runs to the bathroom, and he is, I mean, literally his hole is like the space that's shitting his brains out. And he thinks something's like really wrong, and then it just stops. And then he just cleans himself up the best he can manage. He literally like shat all over the walls and like all kinds of stuff. That is probably my favorite deep cut story.
Oh man, no, I've definitely had a friend in before. Like, quick story, like back in my university, so it's Valentine's Day. You know, everyone's giving some chocolates, cookies, to their Valentines or friends or whatever. For context, I wasn't there to witness it. I just seen the aftermath. Gotcha. So roommate A, he's walking back from class, and he sees one of our friends, right? And this friend comes up to me and is like, hey, bro, happy Valentine's Day. I'm giving away cookies to everybody. And my friend's all like, oh, thank you so much. So he grabs 2, and on his way back to the dorms, he eats both of them. Next thing you know, roommate B is already inside the dorm, making lunch. And roommate A comes back crying. like crying, so depressed, so sad. I was just, he's just like, dude, are you okay? It's like, no. So, and then it's so crazy because we lived on the 3rd floor, and he was like, he looks at the window, and he's getting ready to be like, open it. And then roommate B is like, oh, no, you are not jumping out the window, sir. I was
What was
like,
in these cookies?
So then I come back and I see what happened, or no, I see him lying down on the couch crying, and then the 2 roommates explained to me is like, oh, he grabbed cookies from someone. I was like, who's the someone? It's like, this guy. Is like, don't you know this guy smokes weed all the time? So you probably got edibles from him, and then yeah, all of us realized, we're like, oh shoot. Yeah, man.
Yeah, that's, dude. When you have edibles, especially that you weren't intending on taking, that's like 100 times worse.
This is a note for everyone. Don't do drugs like that.
That's right.
And always ask what's in the cookies.
Yes, it's a good slogan.
Let's see. I'm trying to think of like one that I worked on that was like my favorite one.
Yes. Yeah, I'm curious.
Can we talk about the one that I edited but we didn't decide to release? There was one that I did that we
Jog my memory. Give me a clue.
I think this was about like a first date gone wrong where it involved a gun. Are we allowed to talk about that, or can we not say that?
No, that's fine. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm trying to remember what that story was. What was it? Remind me.
I remember this was the story. It's like this guy is like, he meets this girl for the first time. They're getting interested in each other, and the guy said it's like, oh, I shoot rifles for fun, not really for hunting, but just
yes.
practicing shooting. And the girls are like, oh, I've always wanted to try it. So they go out into like a outdoor firing range, has like a camp set up. The guy leaves for a little bit, and then the girl starts, she starts like shooting, but she's like a shit shot. And then when the guy comes back, the girl gets startled and accidentally shoots him in the shoulder. I was like, ooh, definitely not the best first date.
Yeah, I remember, and I think he was just like, oh, like I didn't want to, make her feel bad, or like I didn't want to cause an alarm. And it's like, bro, you just got shot. He's trying to be like such a gentleman. It's like, bro, when you shot, you don't. It's okay to worry about yourself. Like, it's all right.
Yeah, I remember in that episode, Sam straight up said, it's like when they say shoot your shot, we don't mean it like that.
That's not the way. That's not the way.
Today I effed up when my date shot me and thought she was going to go to jail. They say shoot your shot, but they don't say shoot a gun at your date. I, male 22, like to consider myself an experienced outdoorsman. I spent most of my childhood camping, and I still always try to go once a month minimum. So 3 years ago, I bought myself an air rifle for target shooting. No animals have ever been harmed in my trips. Recently, I started talking with Ellie, 19 female. We really hit it off thanks to a shared love of nature, animals, and spooky stories. We had planned to go for a hike for a first date. Then she found out I have a rifle, and instead she asked if we could go shooting. Pretty girl asked me to shoot a shot. I'll let her shoot my shot.
Kapow.
Bang. And a boom. Fast forward to day of. I picked her up. We drove to my usual spot and set up. I showed her the basics of firearm safety, and then we got shooting. Important detail, Ellie is an awful shot. Just god awful. Cannot hit one single thing.
Pass. Mello was so surprised he was that wide.
About 90 minutes in, I've got my camping stove set up and I'm making a brew, and I suddenly need to answer the call of nature. And so I ask Ellie to finish brewing up. On my way back from that nature call, I notice I don't hear any shots, and I assume Ellie is making the brew, so obviously she won't have her rifle aimed down range, right? so I cut across the range to get back quicker. It didn't occur to me that she was reloading. I make it up over the ridge onto the range just in time to hear a crack and a searing pain in my left shoulder. I drop to the ground behind the ridge, half expecting another shot. Bunches of shell after shell going above my head, trying to get me down. That all goes through my head before I hear Ellie scream out, and I get back up, making my way back to her spot, trying my darndest to be nonchalant, tis but a flesh wound kind of attitude. That all despite bleeding badly with a 22 caliber lead pellet in my shoulder.
Oh my goodness.
Ellie can't stop apologizing. I'm trying to calm her down, but she's crying and convinced she's going to prison.
I think another episode that I did, for context, I'm probably going to release this probably by the end of this week or next week, but it's a very more recent one where it's like the guy has a stomach problem and goes on a first date, and he had to like shit so bad. That was like one of your more recent stories.
Finally, she announces she has to let her dog out, and I recognize this as my opportunity to escape. Aha! I spring into action and run to the master bedroom and wrap a 20-foot piece of toilet paper around my chest like it's a bandolier and sprint to the guest bathroom, where I proceed to begin evacuating my bowels before my butt even touches the toilet seat. I mean, I crapped so hard, I actually think I moaned a little bit, like,
That one was great, but I'll be honest with you, I wanted him to shit the bed. Like, I mean, just all that, the way he built it up, he was literally like, I have IBS and spicy stuff triggers me. So he drank 4 spicy margaritas, and I'm like, and had Mexican food. And I'm like, there's no way that there's no way. I mean,
man, if I was in that situation, I would have been like, can't we like go somewhere else that's like not spicy stuff? Like, please?
You would think. You would think. But he was like, oh, sounds great. And then he's like, oh, she said, do you want spicy margaritas? And, you know, I usually don't do well with spicy things. So I drank 4 of them. It's like, bruh, you could have drank 1 of them at a bare minimum, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, that was a fun one.
Yeah, but you haven't seen it yet. By the time we're recording this, this is supposed to release, I believe, this Wednesday. So you'll see the edits that I did for that one. It's kind of funny.
Brian always has a few fun surprises in his edits.
It's so funny. It's like every time it's my turn to edit, I always try to mess with you guys as much as I can.
I love it. It's fantastic.
Like, did you see the one where it's like, what was it? The Karen and her family are going on a flight, and she said, "Hey, that's my daughter's seat," or something.
Oh, Sam's voice, so Sam will never use his voice again.
As soon as he did the little kid voice, I'm like, Sam, no, your grandma voice is fine, your Karen voice is fine, anything but a little kid.
Oh, God, you just go into it so quickly. Oh my god. So you're just going to be a heartless bitch and deny my daughter her window seat? Spoiled brat. Mom, you told me I could have it. Tell her it's mine. She starts having a temper tantrum and screaming while sitting in the aisle.
It's funny. Sam receives, I think, the most love and the most hate simultaneously. For a while,
really?
Yeah, people said he had jaundice. People were coming for him. Yeah, I know. They're like, yeah. So most people won't know this, but like, I know he has jaundice by the discoloration in his eyes between his cheeks, and we were like, we used a new light. Like, please calm down.
I mean, that is to be expected for haters coming onto the show for the first time, but...
I mean, we love it, but also it's like, guys, come on.
Hey, as long as any of us aren't getting canceled, it's okay. That's fine.
There we go.
Yeah. And, I guess, like, speaking of, you know, when it comes to content, is like, because on my channel a lot, I think in the previous episodes too of like this or that, I've had many conversations with my friends, Caitlin, Blake, Sam, all about, TikTok. Because, before I used to say, TikTok is an easy win. Just make a funny video, go viral, boom, money. But, over the course of the time I'm working with you, Sam, and also a lot of, other TikTok people, I'm starting to realize that, yeah, it's not that easy as it seems. Just like how YouTube's not easy, just like how Spotify's not easy. Hell, it's not even easy just to host a channel in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I want to ask you, since you and Sam have been on TikTok for the longest time, or at least in my knowledge, how would you say it impacted your lives, and also how we as a society treat entertainment?
Yeah, I mean, the crazy thing is OKOP is only 7 months old, and we have 540,000 followers on TikTok. Like, it's unfathomably insane. So I think like it's definitely changed our lives, because it's given us the ability to create our own independent show that we like. Before a company decided they didn't want to continue doing a show, right? Now it's like we have that control where some company can't just decide, oh, I'm just gonna not do it or whatever. So I think it's super powerful. And to your point about it, like, you thought it was easy, but then saw some of the complexities behind it. I think there is massive potential and opportunity with TikTok. And it's easier to crack that. Like for instance, if you cracked YouTube, maybe you can get, 10,000 subscribers in a year, just random example, versus TikTok, you can crack it. You can get, 100, 200, 300,000 followers in a year. Like, I think if you really figure it out and just really study the content that's like similar to what you want to be, like what you aspire to be, and implement all those lessons learned, then you can definitely do something really cool with TikTok.
Right. And, I had this conversation before with my friend Caitlin on the previous episode of This or That, where it's like, God, what was I gonna say? Yeah, like, because we had this discussion where it's like, is there like an easy way to get into content creation? Is there like a platform you kind of want to start on and just kind of grow out from there? And we kind of came to the conclusion it's like, it doesn't really matter which platform you're starting in. Like, I'm starting on YouTube, you guys started on TikTok. It's still not easy to pump out content like that every single day or every single week like I'm supposed to. Because, yeah, like, it's hard coming up with ideas. It's hard coming up with getting traction on both TikTok and YouTube, because algorithms change a lot. And Spotify, I have no idea how Spotify algorithms work. I'll be completely honest. I don't know how they work. I don't know how to gain traction from it. But, I mean, what's your insight for Spotify? Is there really a way for an algorithm?
Yeah, actually, Spotify is like the first thing in 15 years, I feel like, the podcasting that like actually has potential to really help. The fact that, well, first off, there's like Anchor with Spotify. You can do video now. Spotify does actually have an algorithm. They do suggest similar shows, versus on Apple, the only way you can really get that is by like seeing similar shows of something you search. I think, yeah. So Spotify will literally say like, hey, you listen to this podcast, here's some other podcasts you'll be interested in. And so I think that Spotify is going to be 82% of our listeners are on Spotify. It's going to be the #1 podcasting platform. And I think they will work on even more discoverability. It won't be like YouTube. It won't be like TikTok, but I do think discoverability will come through Spotify for podcasts.
I see. Yeah, because like I also upload my stuff to Spotify too. But I'm just like, I don't really know how to grow out from this. Like, I can post about it on my Instagram, but yeah, from that I'm like, I have no idea. I just post and just hope for the best.
Yeah, it's, I mean, I think this is basically what we've been talking about the whole time, but I truly think the best, like if I was a new content creator today, I would, and video, I would just create TikToks. I wouldn't even worry about YouTube or podcasts. Like that can come in later. But I think TikTok is like, if we're talking generally, just giving general advice, like that's probably the best discovery engine for content creators today.
Yeah, I've definitely have noticed like the plethora of TikTok creators, and then from TikTok they go on to another platform, say like Twitch, YouTube, Spotify, literally anything. But as for me, that's been started out from bare bones minimum with a dinky laptop, making podcast episodes on YouTube. Yeah, I definitely say YouTube has been the hardest one to deal with, because like trying to get recommended and trying to get noticed on YouTube, it's been really hard. And I as working with you guys, it's really hard for OKOP to even be discovered sometimes, unless you're subscribed to them, which you should. Yeah.
I missed that last part. What was the last part you said?
Oh, I was like saying, just repeating that, me being on YouTube, it's really hard for smaller channels to really get up there, and that's like the common problem for a lot of content creators, saying like YouTube's not giving smaller creators really that big of a chance. Like my channel, for example, I'm pretty sure you guys over at OKOP are also seeing that, where it's like, hey, like we're not getting featured, So it's definitely one of the biggest problems for YouTube, even still to this day.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's definitely getting more and more saturated. I think the thing is like, it's very interesting watching like Mr. Beast in interviews talk about YouTube, because he's literally like lived and breathed and pissed YouTube for the past like 10 years.
Right.
So I'm kind of just regurgitating what he said, but I think figuring out like how can you get like what does YouTube, the platform, want, and you kind of play this balancing act of like, how can you do something that works for YouTube, that works for you, that feels good for you and feels good for your audience, like trying to figure out that kind of that balance. And like, we at OKOP, we're trying new thumbnails, we're trying new titles, we're trying different editing styles and lengths, and a lot of it's not working.
Right.
But I think that the good news about YouTube, there are definitely some great things about YouTube. One of the best things about it is its analytics, and I am really, honestly, for a content creator, not anywhere near as strong as I should be in my YouTube analytics knowledge, but the data is there for you to see, and then tools like TubeBuddy, Social Blade, SEM Rush, and if you Google those, you'll find a whole plethora of tools. There's lots of tools that you can like dive into to figure out, okay, what are the paths to me finding my audience on YouTube, but it's not easy.
Yeah, definitely not easy. And it's a thing too, like you said, like in terms of just balancing, because on another episode, me and Blake talked about like the concept of supply and demand, saying it's like, oh, what does YouTube demand and what can you bring to the table? It's always that constant battle, which for me, there's like some months or even some weeks where like I don't really record anything because I'm like shit out of ideas. Like, yeah, it's really hard to come up with, and especially since I kind of don't have like a niche thing going on. We kind of just talk about random shit on the daily, so yeah, it's hard. But you were saying,
and sorry to cut you off. I was just gonna say, I think every great creator starts there. Like, you just kind of do something pretty abstract and general, like people might do like a general like entrepreneur or inspiration, or like a general chat show, or like stuff like that. But eventually, like you started, and that's the biggest hurdle. And then as you get kind of deeper down the road, you're like, oh, I like this, I I don't like this, and this looks like it'll work, and this looks like it won't work. So I think, you know, even if one starts with a kind of general chat show or something like that, not very specific niche, I think you can I think that's the best way to discover what your niche actually is. You know what I mean?
Right. And I think that's like a really great way of putting it, because yeah, I started this project over a year ago. I started this like October 2020. Right now it's like May 2022. So yeah, like I definitely have made a lot of progress over the years, and you know, the fact that I made 20 episodes of not only this show, but this or that, it's been a while, and then the 10th episode, I'll remember that. So I am really putting in the work. But like I said, I think just the end of the day, like we said earlier in this interview, it's like, just keep doing what you think is fun, and it eventually will pay off.
100%.
100%. And honestly, I think that's the greatest way to really end this 20th episode special with OKOP. John, thank you for dropping by once again for part 2.
Brian, thank you for having me.
No problem, guy. No problem. And like I said, guys, for the 20th episode specials, we are going to be doing a lot of more fun things. So tune in for this or that. It's been a while. And remember that episode 10. So yeah, once again, go check out OKOP. All their stuff's in the description below. Their TikTok, their Patreon. If you join their Patreon, you can find me on their Discord server. What's up?
Hey.
Yeah, subscribe to the YouTube. Follow them on their Spotify account. And yeah, also, just a reminder again, we also had Ryan on the show earlier, so go check out his Twitch stream. Once again, he will be streaming soon, so be on the lookout for that. But once again, subscribe to Apartment 308, like today's video, comment, share it, and you know, in the comments below, if you're an aspiring content creator or you have a Reddit story you want to tell us, yeah, just tell us in the comments. We'll probably check it out. But anyways, guys, we'll see y'all in the next episode. Bye.